told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere. Fell behind all my classmates and I ended up here. Make sure nobody sees you leave. Hood over your head, keep your eyes down.
Ooh.
Tell your friends you're out for a run. You'll be flushed when you return. Turn, curious turn. Give me no compasses, give me no signs. Were there clues I didn't see?
So the next one on here, the next one on here is This Is Me Trying. This is me trying. That sounds deep already. Bearing in mind what she was mentioning earlier about like being the person that is trying and like remaining that person. I wonder what this one's gonna be like. It's a really beautiful setting as well. Like if you were gonna, I don't know, create any kind of music and want kind of that musical fusion and ideas just bish-boshing all over the place, like you'd want to be in something wholesome, particularly folklore. Like that's kind of, you know, the land of the elves. That's kind of what I would think of.
I've been thinking about addiction, and I've been thinking about people who, if they're either suffering through mental illness or they're suffering through addiction, or they have an everyday struggle. No one pats them on the back every day, but every day they are actively fighting something. But there are so many days that nobody gives them credit for that.
Yeah.
And so how often must somebody who's in that sort of internal struggle must want to say to everyone in the room, you have no idea how close I am to going back to a dark place, or you have no idea.
You have no idea how hard it is to get to the point where you guys think is still shitty.
Yes.
Like I think about that a lot. Like the idea of doing your best or trying is one that only a person knows, and you know when you're doing it. And it's so hard, which is what I get from that song, when you're doing your damn best and it's not good enough.
Yep.
And it rarely is.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good point.
You know, and then it's a very isolating feeling, which I think is funny because it actually is the thing that binds all of us. Is we're all like doing our best and feeling like it's not even close to good enough.
Yeah, I had this idea that the first verse would be about someone who is in a sort of a life crisis and has just been trying and failing in their relationship, has been, you know, messing things up with people they love, has been letting everyone down, and kind of has driven to this overlook, this cliff, and is just in the car going, I could do whatever I want in this moment and it could affect everything forever. But this person backs up and drives home. And
yeah, I love that. The idea that not driving off the cliff is an act of trying.
Yeah.
Which is almost the ultimate act of trying.
Yeah. And then the second verse is about, you know, someone who felt like they had a lot of potential in their life. I think there are a lot of mechanisms for us in our school days, in high school or college, to excel and to be patted on the back for something. And then I think a lot of people get out of school and there are less abilities for them to get gold stars.
Yeah.
And then you have to make all these decisions and you have to pave your own way, and there's no set class course you can take, and and I think a lot of people feel really swept up in that. And so I was thinking about this person who is really lost in life and then starts drinking, and every second is trying not to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like that has already got me kind of in tears already, like that. Okay, so before I play that, just to touch on that, I think we can all be so swept up and so busy in our own lives. I think sometimes, like when people are struggling with things like that, like, because that line which you said there, some can be trying their best and sometimes it's not good enough, and actually having each day where you're not going back to where you were. I don't know whether there's enough of us that really take the time to think about that. I know there's definitely people in my life that have struggled with different things, from mental health to addiction to whatever, and you want to almost shake that person to be like, come on, like, what are you doing? And just hearing that sentence of that person is trying their best, and how difficult must that, I mean, that's actually making me really upset, because how isolating that must feel, to have like the whole world judge you and you're just doing your best. Wow, definitely didn't expect to get emotional over a Taylor Swift song before I've even heard it. Okay, so let's dive in.
I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. Pulled the car off the road to the lookout. Could've followed my fears all the way down. And maybe I don't quite know what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. Told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere. Fell behind all my classmates and I ended up here, pouring out my heart to a stranger, but I didn't pour the whiskey. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying. And it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. It's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback and a film reel on the one screen in my town. And I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying.
Oh dear. I'm actually quite glad I held that together. Yeah, I think that automatically was always going to be like an emotive song, just because of the context of it. But and a short song as well, actually, because I suppose it did, and I quite like the fact that it is shorter, because I guess the point trying to be made there is I'm trying. There doesn't need to be some long song dance about how I'm trying. And whether it's a case of like pulling that car over to the side of the road, or it's a case of saying, you know, I'm in your doorway, like, you know, I'm aware of the fact that, you know, I might not be meeting the markers of where I, you know, was set. Like, for example, you know, I hit so many curves or whatever, do you know what I mean? Like, actually it's now become a sphere. I did so well, do you know what I mean? But now I've actually brought myself back to the same point, and I think how she puts things together in songs is so interesting, and what her sound is with it as well, because there were some words that came up then. I was like, how's she gonna fit all of that into like that line, and how she does it, and like how she kind of switches up her vocal to kind of like, I don't know, it's like there was a bit in there, it was kind of like almost like speaky singing, like, but but it flowed so well with how the song was going. I really liked that as well. I literally, I mean, like I said before, at my last one, I was like, yeah, I'm a fan after that last song, but I'm still expecting that it's going to be a song that I don't like, do you know what I mean? Because surely, but I can only really think of that one, number 2. Number 3. I have lots of regrets about that as well. Like, I like she brought that line back into the second verse. You know, saying things when you're mad. How many times have we done that, where people have said things, and like, I'm someone that like I'm quite a sensitive person, so I take things to heart quite well, especially when it comes to words. My theory has always been like, once you say, like, yes, I might forgive you or whatever, but you've said it now. That thing is now out in the ether, and as much as you might have meant it, like, I've still had to feel that. Whereas on some other people, it's like water for ducks back for them. But I've had to learn, even like having this platform on YouTube, because, you know, time's gone by when someone's got something to say, I'm right there to be like, excuse you. But I've kind of learned that actually, you know, you put, especially in a platform like this, you put yourself out there, people are going to have opinions, you know what I mean? And, you know, you can either, as long as people are respectful, I've got no problem with anybody saying anything to me. Like, it's fine. But I suppose when people are disrespectful, that's the thing that I'm still learning to be like, let me just move on with my day. But now, beautiful song, beautiful message. And one I think I'm going to send to one of my friends, actually, like, just to like, I don't know if you've heard this, but just so they know that I know that they're trying. Do you know what I mean? And I think, again, if you can leave, if I was a songwriter or an artist and I can have left an impression on someone that would then like have them like enact something or do something on the back of something I've said or I've sang about or talked about, whatever, I'll be like, I'm spreading that love, I'm spreading that message, and I think that's really, really awesome. So yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so the next one in here was Illicit Affairs. Ooh. This sounds a bit mix up. Who's the homewrecker in this story? Taylor Swift, Illicit Affairs. I'm really enjoying listening to her talk about it, actually. She's really got a lot of layers that I've never given the time to really find out, so that's been quite cool.
This was the first album that I've ever let go of that need to be 100% autobiographical, because I think I felt like I needed to do that, and I felt like fans needed to hear like a stripped from the headlines account of my life, and it actually ended up being a bit confining, because there's so much more to writing songs than just what you're feeling in your singular storyline. And this was the first time that I ever was like, I think it was spurred on by the fact that I was watching movies every day. I was reading books every day. I was thinking about other people every day. I was kind of outside of my own personal stuff. And so I ended up just like, I think that's been my favorite thing about this album, is that it's allowed to exist on its own merit without it just being, oh, people are listening to this because it tells them something that they could read in a tabloid.
Interesting.
It to me feels like a completely different experience.
So a lot of her, because I know that she's written about a lot of boyfriends and things in her life and that kind of stuff. Like, I know she's famous for that, but I didn't know that like so much of it was like that level of autobiographical. So that's quite interesting. Okay, so let's listen to. I wonder which film she was watching that inspired this.
Make sure nobody sees you leave. Hood over your head, keep your eyes down.
Ooh.
Tell your friends you're out for a run. You'll be flushed when you return. Take the road less traveled by. Tell yourself you can always stop.
That's a note.
What started in beautiful rooms ends with meetings in parking lots. And that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and longing stares. It's born from just one single glance, but it dies and it dies and it dies a million little times. Leave the perfume on the shelf that you picked out just for him, so you leave no trace behind, like you don't even exist. Take the words for what they are, a dwindling mercurial high, a drug that only worked first few hundred times. And that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and stolen stares. They show their truth one single time, but they lie and they lie and they lie a million little times. And you wanna scream, don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this godforsaken mess that you made me. You showed me colors you know I can't see with anyone else. Don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this idiotic fool that you made me. You taught me a secret language I can't speak with anyone else. And you know damn well, for you I would ruin myself a million little times.
Okay, so I probably didn't love that one as much. Like, if I'm honest, I think it was nice. Again, it wasn't like offensive or anything like that. But I think it's interesting how she mentions about how, yeah, you know, it can start from like a stare, like, and you know, you're telling people, like, I love that line about, you know, I tell people you're going for a run because when you come back you're gonna be flushed. You know, that because that's the thing with like affairs and stuff, and you know, people that commit them. 9 times out of 10, I don't think someone necessarily like set out to do that. Like, you know, a spark might happen with someone, and you know, I know there are some people that feel as though they're incapable of being faithful and monogamous. But I suppose these are some of the levels and the layers that happen when people are going through those motions. You know what I mean? And like, you know, taking the road less travelled, and you know, tell your friend something else, and the fact that like that stare can be so amazing, but like it dies a million times over. So again, I think the message of the song is cool. I think I like the beginning part of the song more so than the end part. Like I don't know. I just didn't love that one as much. Again, like if it came on, I'd listen to it. Like that's fine. But I probably didn't love that one as much. But that's okay. That's all right. Okay, and then we've got Invisible String. So we've done Mirable, 7, August. Then This Is Me Trying, Illicit Affairs, and Invisible String. So my plan was to get through all of these, but it's now 10 to 8 and I need to jump on another reaction. So I think what I might do is pause that there, and do Invisible String, and then do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do those 5 all in one go. Or maybe do 3 and 2. Okay, cool. So this one is Invisible String. So I wonder what this one's about, like an invisible string, like the connection between like people, like, and the fact that you've got this bond with someone that even though no one else can see it, you both know that it's there. Maybe.
So Invisible String, when I first heard the track that you sent me, I thought, I have to write something that matches it. And pretty quickly I came upon the idea of fate, because sometimes I just, you know, go into a rabbit hole of thinking of how things happen. And I kind of love the romantic idea that every step you're taking one step closer to where you're supposed to be, guided by this little like invisible string.
I bought this little guitar that has a rubber bridge, which you have one now too, but it has this like...
you got me one and sent it to me, and it was like, I couldn't believe opening up this like beautiful, isn't it 50s guitar?
It is from the late 50s, and
Wow.
it's been like renovated so that the bridge deadens the strings and it sounds really old, and it's just a really kind of writes songs for you in a way, because it's so fun to play. And that was the first one that I wrote with it, and then you wrote this incredible song that is all about fate, and that was another moment where I just felt there was this serendipity happening between us and crazy chemistry, as far as like you took exactly what I had written, and it was as though we wrote it together in a room or something.
I remembered I wrote it
Wow.
after I sent an ex a baby gift. And I was just like, man, life is great. And I just remembered thinking like, this is a full signifier that life is great.
Oh, I'm already excited about this song. I'm already excited. For him to say the serendipity of the fact that we weren't even in the same room, and you've written a song that's so like he's made that melody, he's put that song together, and what you've then been able to do with that song, he's like, this is exactly what I need. Like, this is what I wanted. That's amazing. That is. You couldn't get a better compliment, could you? Okay. Here we are.
Green was the color of the grass where I used to read in Centennial Park. I used to think I would meet somebody there. Teal was the color of your shirt when you were 16 at the yogurt shop. You used to work out to make a little money. Time, curious time, give me no compasses, give me no signs. Were there clues I didn't see? And isn't it just so pretty to think all along there was some invisible string tying you to me? That was the blood of the song in the cab on your first trip to LA. You ate at my favorite spot for dinner. Bold was the waitress on our 3-year trip, getting lunch down by the lakes. She said I looked like an American singer. Time, mystical time, cutting me open then healing me fine. Were there clues I didn't see? And isn't it just so pretty to think all along there was some invisible string tying you to me? String that pulled me out of all the wrong arms right into that dive bar. Something wrapped all up my past mistakes in barbed wire. Chains around my demons, wool to brave the seasons. One single thread of gold tied me to you. Cold was the steel of my axe to grind for the boys who broke my heart. Now I send their babies presents.
Okay.
Gold was the color of the leaves when I showed you around Centennial Park. Hell was the journey, but it brought me heaven. Time, wonder is time. Give me the blues and that purple pink skies. And it's cool, baby, with me. And isn't it just so pretty to think all along there was some invisible
That is an absolutely beautiful song. That is an absolutely beautiful song. Beautiful song. And that line, cold was the steel of the axe I had to grind. And now, I can't remember the exact phrase, I'm going to remember that. But basically, it's all cool, it's all good, it's all gravy. Like, I can sit down there with an ex and be like, happy baby, with you and whoever you're with. I mean, happy baby. Because actually, you know what? You know, hell was the journey, but now I'm in heaven. Like, and I suppose that's what it is, isn't it? Like, things can seem so hellish and awful at the time, but like, you know, my nan used to say this all the time. God rest your soul, nanny. I love you. She used to be like, you know, every disappointment is for our good. Every disappointment is for our good. And I was like, you know what? Like, at the time when you're disappointed, like, that ain't what you want to hear. Like, I am upset. I'm sad. But if you have that kind of great feeling, that great sense of fate or whatever, that things are meant to happen as and don't get me wrong, look, I know that's very difficult in certain circumstances, and you know, I'm not oblivious to the fact that the world is very topsy-turvy and crazy right now. So like, that is difficult to find logic, reason, fate behind a lot of those things. But I think like things like relationships or jobs or things that like are important but maybe not in the same way, I think, you know, having this mentality and this idea that, yo, things are going to happen as they happen. Do you know what I mean? And in honesty, they are going to happen as they happen, because that's exactly how they happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like, well, you know, the kind of the spilt milk analogy, it's already spilt, so what am I gonna, you know, just keep wishing and hoping for something else? But the reality is, this is the situation. And yeah, I guess to be in a position where you can reasonably, you know, be like, yo, I'm happy for you. Because isn't that like the true height of success? Isn't that the one where you can like literally go, do you know what? Like, I am so happy with me that like any negative parts of any impact that you had towards my journey, like it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm not there now. Do you know what I mean? And cool. Me, that was cool. I like that. Ooh, that like, I love that little bit. And as I was listening to it, I'm like, I can totally understand why he rates the song so much as he did, because as someone that's never heard the song before, I'm like, this is a really beautiful song. Imagine that you've created this song and you're trying to create this sense of what is this song going to mean and what's it going to provide and what impact is it going to have, and then that's the song that someone makes for it. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so change of plan. I was going to go through the rest of the album, but that is like, I thought it was going to take me like about half an hour. But because I've got so much to say about each of the songs, like it's just not doing that at all. So I'm really, really, really enjoying this, and actually I'm now excited to get back to finish the rest of this. And I know that some people have said that, like, I think when I first started reacting to it, that this album sound might not be the same as other ones, because I definitely like this side of Taylor Swift. I'll be really honest with you, like I'm about to go and have some serious conversations with my friends to be like, guys and girls, I think we could have been a little bit wrong. A little bit. I think we need to give Taylor a little bit more time. So next time we're having a little bit of a gathering, I wonder if I put a little especially like, you know, when it's the chill, like the wine's all done and everyone's just like, I'm absolutely, like, you're just in that real just grateful mode, that real like thinking mode, and having your D&Ms and your deep meaningfuls, all that kind of stuff. Like, I can imagine some of these songs just sitting so well, just playing in the back. Like, I'm really genuinely impressed, really, really, really impressed. And yeah, I can't wait to finish the rest. So if you did enjoy this with me, thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate a like and subscribe. That would be great. Thank you very much. And again, I do have a YouTube membership if you want to be part of my channel. And I've also got a Patreon as well. So if you want to head over there and show any kind of love, you get access to like full reactions and early access and more access to me and lots of other good stuff. But for now, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.